For Virgos, June 15, 2025, isn't just a date on the calendar, it's a pivotal point where cosmic influences converge to shape your financial landscape. Today, we'll closely examine how Jupiter in Taurus, that planetary benefactor, can become your reliable ally in the pursuit of material stability and prosperity. Jupiter's transit through Taurus is a period when the practicality and groundedness of Taurus harmonize with Jupiter's expansive energy. For you, Virgo, this means your natural abilities for analysis, planning, and organization will receive powerful support. This is a time to strengthen your financial foundation and create long-term strategies that yield stable income. How can you use this transit most effectively? First and foremost, pay attention to real estate. Jupiter in Taurus favors investments in land, houses, and apartments. Perhaps it's time to consider buying or selling property or improving your living situation. Additionally, this period is excellent for conservative investments, reliable securities, bonds, and assets that don't promise instant profits but guarantee steady growth. Avoid chasing fleeting gains, instead, focus on the long term. And, of course, don't forget your natural inclination to work and persevere. Jupiter in Taurus rewards those who invest effort in their work. This could be the time to enhance your skills or acquire new ones that allow you to increase your income. However, there's another side to the coin. It's important to remember that Jupiter can create a tendency toward overconfidence and unwarranted risk. Therefore, when making financial decisions, always rely on facts, analysis, and common sense. Don't succumb to euphoria or believe promises of easy money. The influence of celestial bodies is multifaceted, and besides Jupiter, other factors shape your financial flow. Virgo, let's look at another important aspect of your financial success in mid-June 2025. During this period, the Sun will be in Gemini, meaning communication, intellect, and networking skills take center stage. You now have a unique opportunity to convert your communication skills into tangible financial income. Consider how you can improve your negotiation, presentation, or even everyday communication skills at work. Perhaps it's worth taking a specialized course or training program. Investing in these competencies will pay off handsomely, opening doors to new opportunities and more favorable offers. The Sun in Gemini also favors intellectual activities. If you have ideas for new projects, developments, or improvements to existing processes, now is the time to actively promote them. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts with management or colleagues. Your creativity and unconventional approach may be highly valued and rewarded. Remember that the favorable position of Jupiter in Taurus, which we discussed, creates a solid foundation for financial stability. But it's the skillful use of the Sun's energy in Gemini that will allow you to move forward dynamically, using your intellect and communication skills to achieve even greater heights. However, there's another celestial factor that can significantly affect your financial well-being during this period. How to use it is a topic for a separate discussion. Virgo, prepare for June 15, 2025, to become not just a day but a true portal of opportunities. We've already discussed the influence of Jupiter in Taurus, opening horizons in real estate and wise investments, as well as the Sun in Gemini, emphasizing the importance of communication and new ideas. But that's not all. Let me introduce you to Venus in Leo, whose influence will be particularly noticeable for you, Virgo, during this period. This transit is your chance to transform your self-presentation. Forget modesty and restraint, now is the time to shine. Venus in Leo appreciates everything bright, creative, and artistic. This is an excellent time to develop your creative projects. Perhaps you've had an idea brewing for a long time that you were afraid to bring to life. Now is the time. It is through creativity and self-expression that you can attract financial abundance. Think about how you can monetize your talents. Maybe it's courses, master classes, selling handmade items, or even just running a blog where you share your knowledge and experience. Don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. Venus in Leo favors the bold and confident. Remember that visual image plays a huge role. Update your wardrobe, get a stylish haircut, and pay attention to detail. Your task is to make the impression of a successful and confident person. And then the money will gravitate towards you. However, to complete the picture, it's necessary to consider another, no less important factor influencing your financial decisions during this period. Virgo, June 15, 2025, forms a unique astrological picture, and in this symphony of celestial bodies, the influence of Mars in Cancer deserves special attention. This position of the planet of action and energy poses an interesting challenge for you, rational Virgos, to listen to your feelings when making financial decisions. Usually, you rely on logic and analysis, but now intuition can become a valuable ally. Mars in Cancer emphasizes the emotional component, encouraging you to consider not only the numbers but also your own feelings regarding prospects. This is an excellent time to develop emotional intelligence, which will help you better understand the motives of others in financial matters, whether they are colleagues, partners, or even family members. Try using empathy to improve financial planning. Imagine how your decisions will affect those around you, and this will help you avoid impulsive actions and make more balanced choices. Developing emotional intelligence will allow you not only to improve your financial performance but also to strengthen relationships with people, which will also bear fruit in the long term. However, don't forget about your inherent rationality. How to find a balance between intuition and analysis. There is another important factor that needs to be considered when forming your financial strategy for this period. Virgo, June 15, 2025, is a time when your ruler, Mercury, in sensitive Cancer, endows you with a unique combination of intuition and analytical abilities. This means that making informed financial decisions will become especially accessible to you. Don't neglect your intuition, but don't forget about thorough analysis. Consider all the pros and cons before taking any serious steps. Right now, listening to your inner voice and supporting it with rational arguments, you can most effectively manage your finances. Remember that harmony between intuition and logic is the key to financial success during this period. But what about the long term, the foundation of your financial well-being? Virgo, your horoscope for June 15, 2025, reaches a new level of financial responsibility. Saturn, in Pisces, has a powerful influence on your ability to plan and structure long-term investments. This is a time when illusions must be discarded, and sober calculation and risk analysis come to the fore. Don't succumb to the temptation of quick and easy money. During this period, it is especially important to focus on creating a solid foundation for your financial future. Review your current assets and liabilities. Perhaps it's time to get rid of unprofitable investments and direct funds into more reliable instruments. Consulting with a financial expert can be very helpful. Saturn in Pisces also focuses on the ethical side of your financial decisions. Make sure your actions are consistent with your values and do not harm others. Long-term success is built on honesty and integrity. Remember that financial stability is not only about money but also about confidence in the future. Create a clear financial plan, set specific goals, and move consistently towards achieving them. This will require discipline and self-control, but the result will exceed all expectations. In addition to traditional approaches to investing, there are other, less obvious opportunities to increase your income. But more on that later. Virgo, let's see how to use the energy of Uranus and Taurus for your financial prosperity. Uranus is the planet of unexpected change and innovation, and Taurus is the sign of stability and material values. This combination creates a unique opportunity to find new financial paths that may have seemed impossible before. You, as representatives of the sign of Virgo, have an analytical mind and attention to detail. Use these qualities to study new economic trends and technologies. Perhaps you should pay attention to investments in promising startups related to ecology or the IT sector. Don't be afraid to take risks, but do it consciously, carefully studying all aspects. Uranus in Taurus also favors adaptation to changing market conditions. Be prepared for the fact that familiar sources of income may require revision. You may need to acquire new skills or change your approach to work. Flexibility and openness to new things are your main allies during this period. Remember that financial stability is built not only on savings but also on the ability to adapt to change. Uranus in Taurus gives you the chance to rethink your financial goals and find new, more effective ways to achieve them. But what if intuition suggests a completely different path than cold calculation? Virgo, pay attention to one important aspect of your financial horoscope for June 15, 2025, the influence of Neptune in Pisces. This planetary configuration opens the door to a world of intuitive understanding of financial markets. You may feel unusual insight, allowing you to catch hidden trends and anticipate profitable deals. However, there is also danger here. Trusting exclusively on intuition, without proper analysis, you risk making rash decisions. Remember that Mars in Cancer enhances your sensitivity, but Saturn in Pisces strongly requires a balanced approach. Allow yourself to listen to your inner voice, but do not forget about the need for careful verification of any information. This is especially true for new and unfamiliar financial instruments. Remember the opportunities that Uranus in Taurus provides, but do not let euphoria cloud your mind. Develop the ability to distinguish true premonition from false hopes. Learn to recognize the signals that the universe sends you, but always support them with rational analysis. Ultimately, a harmonious combination of intuition and logic will be your main asset in achieving financial success. But how will the financial system transform under the influence of another powerful planet? Virgo, June 15, 2025, is not just a date on the calendar, it is a potential point of financial growth, highlighted by the unique arrangement of planets. But to fully understand the picture, it is necessary to look at the larger processes affecting the global economy and, consequently, your personal well-being. We are now observing how Pluto, the planet of transformation and profound change, is confidently moving through Aquarius. This marks an era of radical restructuring of the entire financial system. Old paradigms are collapsing, giving way to new, more progressive and, perhaps, more decentralized models. What does this mean for you, Virgo? First of all, the need to be prepared for change. Do not cling to outdated ideas about stability and reliability. Be open to new technologies, new forms of investment, and new ways of earning. Pluto in Aquarius gives you the chance to adapt and use these changes to your advantage. Think about digital currencies, blockchain, and artificial intelligence. Perhaps these are the keys to your financial success. Your analytical nature, Virgo, is ideally suited for exploring these new horizons. Don't be afraid to learn, explore, and experiment. It's time not only to follow trends but also to actively participate in shaping the new financial reality. Your attention to detail and striving for perfection will help you identify promising opportunities that will go unnoticed by others. However, there is another, no less important factor that can become a catalyst for your financial breakthrough. This is your personal initiative and willingness to act boldly, going beyond the usual. June 15, 2025, for Virgos, is not only a harmonious interaction of planets but also a powerful impetus for action, emanating from the ascending node in Aries. This astrological position literally requires you to show courage and initiative, unusual for your zodiac sign, especially in financial projects. Forget about the usual caution and meticulousness, which sometimes constrain your potential. It's time to take a risk, but to risk thoughtfully, using analytical abilities enhanced by the influence of Mercury in Cancer. Overcome the fear of the unknown, get out of the comfort zone that so reliably protects you from possible failures but also does not allow you to fully unlock your financial potential. Perhaps you will have the opportunity to invest in a new, promising startup, or you will be offered a job that requires a non-standard approach and the ability to quickly adapt to changing conditions. Do not be afraid of these challenges. They will become a springboard to your financial well-being. Remember that success loves the bold, and in this case, the bold Virgos, reinforcing their determination with analysis and intuition. However, in any financial matter, even the most promising, it is important to remain vigilant. There is an aspect that requires special attention to avoid possible mistakes and disappointments. Virgo, June 15, 2025, is not only a day of potential financial triumph but also a time for a critical assessment of your financial strategies. Lilith, in your sign, can distort perception, pushing you to risky or ill-considered steps. It is important to remember, the seeming ease of enrichment is often an illusion. Approach any financial proposals with increased caution, carefully analyzing all the pros and cons. Do not allow emotions or momentary desires to cloud your mind. Develop a healthy skepticism towards promises of quick profits, especially if they seem too good to be true. Avoid impulsive decisions based on unverified information. Before investing funds, conduct your own research, consult with reliable experts, and make sure you understand all the risks. Remember that financial stability is built on informed decisions and a balanced approach, not on random luck or dubious adventures. Right now, as never before, your natural tendency for analysis and attention to detail is important. However, there is another important aspect that needs to be considered to achieve harmony between the past and the future in the financial sphere. Virgos, June 15, 2025, is not just a date on the calendar, it is a point of intersection of cosmic influences, capable of radically changing your financial situation. But how to make the most effective use of this astrological potential? Here, understanding the role of the lunar nodes comes to the rescue. The ascending node, located in Aries, calls you to courage and initiative in financial matters. This is a signal to get out of your comfort zone and take a risk, but to risk consciously and thoughtfully. However, remember Lilith in your sign, which can push you to rash decisions and illusions. The balance between these two forces is the key to success. It is important to understand that past experience, personified by the descending lunar node, is certainly valuable, but it should not constrain you. Don't be afraid to let go of old strategies that no longer work. Develop flexibility and adaptability. These qualities will allow you to use the new financial opportunities that will open up before you. Remember, the world of finance is constantly changing, and to stay afloat, you need to be prepared for change. Study new technologies, acquire new skills, and be open to new ideas. Only in this way can you fully take advantage of the favorable arrangement of planets and attract prosperity into your life. But how exactly to realize this potential in everyday life? So, Virgos, June 15, 2025, is a day when the stars favor your financial activity. Believe in your own strength, discard doubts. A positive attitude will become your compass in the world of opportunities. Remember, fortune favors the bold and confident. But how exactly to use this stellar potential for specific actions? We will talk about this further.